Over 70% of men admit to being confused by a woman's sudden emotional withdrawal. According to Dr. Sarah Miller's research on attachment styles, this going cold phenomenon is often a complex interplay of evolutionary biology and learned emotional responses. In the next 13 minutes, you're going to discover 5 psychological reasons behind why she suddenly goes cold, including reason number 3, which most men completely overlook. Understanding this isn't about manipulation, it's about genuine insight into the female mind. Reason 1, the fear of vulnerability. A 2019 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships revealed that women often withdraw when they feel their emotional safety is compromised. If she perceives a risk of judgment, rejection, or being overwhelmed, her natural defense mechanism is to create distance. This isn't about you specifically, it's a primal instinct to protect a fragile sense of self. Imagine a woman who's been hurt before. Even a hint of perceived danger can trigger her to shut down, becoming cold as a shield. But this is just the first layer. What lies beneath is even more critical for understanding her. Reason 2, perceived loss of control. Research published in Evolutionary Psychology suggests that women are highly attuned to power dynamics. If she feels that a situation is spiraling beyond her control, or that her autonomy is being threatened, she'll often go cold. This isn't about being manipulative, it's a strategic retreat to regain a sense of agency. Think of a high-stakes negotiation. She might suddenly become distant to reassess her leverage. It's her way of saying, I need to re-establish my equilibrium before I can re-engage. This subtle shift in her demeanor is a powerful signal, but it's often misinterpreted. Reason 3, unmet expectations. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Psychology highlighted the significant role of expectations in relationship satisfaction. When a woman's unspoken expectations aren't met, whether it's about emotional support, effort, or understanding, she can retreat emotionally. This withdrawal isn't always a direct confrontation, it can manifest as a sudden coldness. Imagine her expecting a certain level of attentiveness that you, perhaps unknowingly, didn't provide. The disappointment builds, leading to a subconscious decision to disengage until those needs are addressed. This is a critical insight, often missed by men who focus on overt actions. Reason 4, the need for independence. According to evolutionary psychology research, women often cycle through periods of intense connection and a need for personal space. When she suddenly goes cold, it might simply be her innate drive to reconnect with herself, pursue personal goals, or recharge her social battery. This isn't a rejection of you, it's a biological imperative for self-preservation and growth. Think of it as her needing to go back to her own tribe for a bit, even if that tribe is just her own thoughts. She's not pushing you away, she's pulling herself in. This is a common yet often misunderstood aspect of her emotional landscape. Reason 5, subconscious safety assessment. Neuroscientific studies show that women subconsciously assess safety and long-term compatibility. If she perceives a potential threat, not necessarily physical, but emotional, financial, or social, she may withdraw to evaluate. This going cold phase is her internal risk assessment kicking in. She's not being fickle, she's being cautious. Imagine her looking at your behavior through a lens of future potential, and something triggers a red flag in her subconscious. This evaluation period can lead to a temporary emotional distance, a quiet recalibration of her feelings. Understanding this is key to navigating her complex inner world. The interplay of these 5 reasons creates a complex emotional landscape. It's rarely just one factor, but a combination that leads to her sudden withdrawal. When she goes cold, it's a signal, not an endpoint. It's her subconscious communicating a need for reassurance, space, or a re-evaluation of the dynamic. Understanding these underlying psychological drivers is the first step to navigating her emotional shifts effectively. Many men misinterpret this withdrawal as a personal rejection, when in reality, it's often a complex internal process she's navigating. But what does this look like in practice? Let's dive into a relatable scenario. Scenario, the sudden chill. Imagine you've been on several great dates with a woman. Conversation flows, laughter is easy, and you feel a genuine connection building. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, her texts become shorter, her responses delayed, and her enthusiasm wanes. She goes cold. You're left bewildered. wondering what changed. Was it something you said? Did you do something wrong? This is the classic sudden chill that leaves men scratching their heads. It's the disconnect between your perception of progress and her internal shift. This isn't about your actions alone, it's about her internal processing of the connection and her evolving comfort level. Understanding her internal state is crucial. Her internal narrative might be playing out like this: he's great, but am I moving too fast? Am I being too vulnerable? Is this sustainable? She might be experiencing a surge of anxiety linked to past experiences or a heightened awareness of her own needs. It's a subconscious process, a rapid evaluation of whether the perceived benefits of continued connection outweigh the potential emotional costs. This internal conflict can manifest as a withdrawal, a need to hit the pause button to process her feelings. It's her way of ensuring her emotional well-being, a fundamental aspect of female psychology. This internal dialogue is often invisible to men. When she's processing these internal shifts, you might notice subtle behavioral cues. Her eye contact might become more fleeting, or she might engage in preening behaviors, adjusting her hair, touching her neck, which are often subconscious signals of anxiety or self-soothing. She might also subtly mirror your body language less, indicating a slight emotional disconnect. These aren't definitive signs of disinterest, but rather indicators that she's in a state of internal recalibration. Pay attention to these nuances. They are her nonverbal communication, a window into her processing, especially when words are scarce. It's about observing the quiet shifts that reveal her inner world. Another powerful indicator is a shift in her vocal tone. If she was animated and her pitch naturally rose when excited, you might notice a flatter, more monotone delivery when she's withdrawing. Her laughter might become less frequent or sound more polite than genuine. Her responses might become more factual and less emotionally expressive. These are not conscious decisions to be difficult, they are physiological responses tied to her emotional state. Her voice, a primal tool for communication, reflects her inner turmoil. Observing these shifts requires a keen sense of awareness, moving beyond just the words she says to the way she says them. It's a deeper level of understanding. So, what do you do when she goes cold? The worst thing you can do is panic or bombard her with questions. Instead, give her space. A 2018 study on relationship dynamics emphasized that allowing women autonomy during periods of withdrawal can actually strengthen trust. Focus on your own life, your goals, and your confidence. When she sees you thriving independently, it can alleviate her anxieties about vulnerability and control. This isn't a passive waiting game, it's about demonstrating your own secure attachment and self-worth. Your confidence in your own life is often the most attractive signal you can send during her period of withdrawal. This approach is key to re-establishing connection. Remember, this going cold phase is often temporary. It's a signal that she's processing, not necessarily rejecting. By understanding the psychological underpinnings, the fear of vulnerability, the need for control, unmet expectations, the drive for independence, and subconscious safety assessments, you can approach the situation with empathy and insight, rather than frustration. Your ability to remain calm, confident, and understanding during these moments will significantly impact the trajectory of your connection. This knowledge empowers you to respond intelligently, fostering a deeper and more resilient bond. It's about moving from confusion to clarity, from reaction to strategic interaction. So, to recap, women go cold due to fear of vulnerability, a need for control, unmet expectations, a desire for independence, and subconscious safety assessments. Your best response is to provide space and focus on your own confidence. Understanding these psychological drivers transforms confusion into clarity. Now you know what to look for. But knowing the signs is only half the equation. What you do next is what actually matters. Subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown, because understanding women is a skill, and we're here to help you build it.